JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, St. Mary businessman shot dead by masked gunman. Wife escapes unharmed. A businessman was killed, but his common-law wife escaped serious injury when a masked gunman attacked them outside their business establishment in Rio Nuevo, St. Mary on Thursday. Dead is 54-year-old Delray Hall of Huddersfield in the parish. Reports are that about 6:20 p.m., Hall and his female companion were standing outside their business place when a masked man, armed with a handgun, scaled the fence. The gunman then opened fire, hitting Hall in the upper body before fleeing the scene. The woman, who reportedly ran when the gunfire started, was unharmed. Hall was assisted to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Head of the St. Mary Police, Superintendent Bobette Morgan Simpson, says no motive has yet been established for the fatal attack, noting that a probe is ongoing at this time. Licensed fireholder killed outside bank in Montego Bay. The Freeport police are probing the shooting death of a man outside the Jane Bank in Catherine Hall, Montego Bay, St. James this morning. The victim, who is said to be from an upscale community in Montego Bay, has not yet been identified. It is reported that about 11 a.m., the man drove to the bank to conduct business and was attacked by armed men as he exited his motor vehicle. The victim, who is also a licensed fireholder, was chased a short distance from the compound before he was shot multiple times. He died on the spot. Man gunned down in Lawrence Tavern. Shock and grief struck residents of Tavern Gully, a remote community located in Lawrence Tavern, St. Andrew, shortly before noon yesterday, after a round of unusual explosions rang out in the hills. Screams and wails followed shortly after, confirming the fears of many residents that something unusual had taken place. On checking their surroundings, the residents stumbled upon Omar Gray, a Rastafarian said to be in his 50s, lying in blood not far from his home. His abandoned red sandals, strewn meters away from where he fell, were telltale signs of his failed attempt to outrun his attacker. "Them thing an happen round us, sir. Me can't believe it. I wait there, me see man tell me something about Europe," a woman said aloud. Police sources said that Gray lived in another section of Lawrence Tavern called King Weston. However, his home had been firebombed, forcing him to relocate to Tavern Gully. "I lately him come round here, sir. Not even 2 months. And him and him woman live round there. Him and the man them a King Weston not things," a resident said, adding that Gray's original home was torched late last year. Reports are that about 11:45 a.m., residents heard explosions and summoned the police. A woman sergeant at the location had to play a double role as she secured the crime scene while consoling Gray's crime partner, who was visibly shaken. In the King Weston community, residents there had already heard of Gray's demise, but were tight-lipped when asked about the alleged arson. Gray's death is the second murder in the Lawrence Tavern community in less than a week. Last Saturday, a man died after being stabbed during a dispute. The police said investigations in both incidents are ongoing. Since the start of the year, the St. Andrew North Police Division has recorded 7 murders, 3 more than the 4 recorded as of January 15 last year. The number of injured persons and shootings has increased over the comparative period from 1 to 8 and 6 to 7, respectively. 3 men arrested in $1.7 million ganja bust in Portland. 3 men were arrested as police seized approximately 250 pounds of ganja in Portland on Thursday, the second major marijuana bust in the eastern Jamaica parish this month. Reports are that lawmen acting on intelligence were conducting spot checks on the Mansion Hill Main Road in search of firearms and illegal drugs about 2:45 p.m. when a green and red 1984 Leyland motor truck was stopped and searched. According to the police, the vehicle was found to contain 5 black boxes containing several parcels of ganja wrapped with brown masking tape. The ganja reportedly weighed approximately 250 pounds, with a street value of about $1,750,000 Jamaican dollars. 3 men were arrested in connection with the seizure, the second major ganja bust in just over a week, which police have linked to the illicit guns for drug trade between Jamaica and Haiti. Over the past 10 days, we have seized close to 8,000 pounds of ganja, with the street value estimated at $56 million, said head of the Portland Police Division, Superintendent Kenneth Chin. The Portland Police are committed to doing our part in dismantling this leg of the guns for drugs trade. I thank the team that participated in this operation and all the members of the Portland Police Division for their continued efforts in our intense road policing activities, which are reaping success, added Chin, as he urged the residents of the parish to work with the police to make Portland the safest place in Jamaica. Brothers charged for murder of Trelawney farmer. 2 brothers have been charged with the murder of 63-year-old Winston Stewart, otherwise called Manna, a farmer of McKill District, Clarkstown, Trelawney. Charged with murder and conspiracy to prevent the lawful burial of a corpse, or 46-year-old Andrew Green, otherwise called Denty, and 49-year-old Alan Green, otherwise called Curry, farmers of Clarkstown, Trelawney. The police report that on February 1, Stewart was reported missing. According to the police, a man turned himself into cops and he reportedly confessed that the brothers were seen with Stewart's body. The police say both men were taken into custody where they reportedly admitted that they chopped Stewart to death and burnt his body on his farm. The brothers were subsequently charged after the question and answer session. Their court date is being finalized. Criminals posing as cops hurting St. Anne. Senior Superintendent of Police Dwight Powell is urging people who travel through St. Anne, especially at night, to be cautious as criminals posing as cops have been committing several robberies in the parish. Powell, speaking at the monthly meeting of the St. Anne Municipal Corporation recently, said the police have received reports that in recent time, criminals moving around a Toyota Axie motor car have been wreaking havoc in the Runaway Bay and Discovery Bay areas. I want to advise the public that if they are stopped by anyone, that person should clearly identify themselves as a police officer before you proceed to comply with their directives. Otherwise, you should proceed to the nearest police station to make a report, and we will take the necessary actions from there, said Powell. He noted that there are standards under which members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force operate while carrying out their duties in public spaces. Whenever we stop persons in the public, it is a police in uniform who gives the signal for a motorist to stop, and if it is plainclothes operation, there are also standards by which the police operate. The police will have to be clearly identifiable with marked police paraphernalia, so please try to be aware of how the police operate, Powell urged. He argued that the robberies by criminals posing as cops have led to an increase in the number of robberies in the parish so far this year. We have seen 11 robberies, a slight uptick to last year, but we have put some measures in place to reduce these activities, and they have been bearing some tremendous fruits, said Powell, as he noted that the parish recorded 5 robberies in the same period last year. We want to ask the public to work with us to rid the parish of crime and violence, and I just want to remind those who are bent on committing crime that they should be assured that the strict arm of justice will be reaching out to them, declared Powell. Stony Hill shame. Scores of residents in Stony Hill in St. Andrew West Rural will not benefit from free Wi-Fi as scheduled after criminals stole an access point from the facility hours before it was opened Thursday. Access points enable the reach of the free Wi-Fi, which is part of the government's program being undertaken by the Universal Service Fund, USF, to bridge the digital gap, particularly for individuals in deep rural areas who are unable to obtain internet service. With the theft, 2 basic schools, 4 churches, a health center, and people waiting on buses will not be able to access the free Wi-Fi as scheduled. An obviously peeved Chief Executive Officer of the USF, Daniel Dawes, blasted the robbers during the launch ceremony on Thursday. Would have spent $7.5 million to be outfitting this constituency with this important facility, said Dawes, who noted that the plan was to erect 189 Wi-Fi hotspots across the island. I was like a mad bull this morning when I understood from my director of projects that some unscrupulous person, somebody who has no conscience, went and stole one of the access points. We have been rolling out the project all across Jamaica, and we have never had one case of anybody taking what is not theirs, added Dawes. He urged the residents to find the culprit and called the Member of Parliament, Julie Cuthbert-Flynn, so that an example could be made of them. It ought not to happen. This is not mango or oranges or ackee. This is a tool to provide enhancement to the lives of our Jamaican people, said Dawes. In the meantime, head of the Stony Hill Police, Corporal Gregory Bennett, urged residents of the surrounding communities to share any information they have on the thieves. This Wi-Fi hotspot is designed to ensure that we have a safer and more progressive Stony Hill community, Golden Spring community, Lawrence Tavern community, but then we are trying to defeat this purpose, and this is retarding the growth of our kids, said Bennett. I would like to implore you all to take a greater step to try to stop this sort of thing, to help us to help you, added Bennett. The USF is on track to establish 189 community Wi-Fi hotspots island-wide to facilitate increased public internet access. These will be in addition to 13 high-trafficked locations where the service has been established. Minister of Science, Energy and Technology Darrell Vaz has indicated that 3 hotspots will be established in each of the 63 constituencies. According to Vaz, technology is essential to creating a bold and brighter future for all Jamaicans, and his ministry is committed to building out the infrastructure and creating the policy, legislative and regulatory framework to make this happen. 59 new COVID cases in Jamaica, 2 more deaths reported. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 59 new COVID-19 cases and 2 deaths on Thursday, bringing the infection total to 127,436 and total deaths to 2,771. The new cases comprise 32 females and 27 males, with ages ranging from 4 months to 99 years. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 11, St. James 10, Clarendon 7, Manchester 7, St. Catherine 6, St. Anne 4, Hanover 3, St. Elizabeth 3, St. Mary 3, Trelawney 2, Westmoreland 2, and Portland 1. The deceased comprised a 67-year-old female from Manchester who died in January 2022 and an 85-year-old female from Hanover who died in September 2021, a case which was previously under investigation. There were 377 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 74,527. Currently, 239 people are hospitalized, 25 of whom are severely ill, while 7 are critically ill and 56 are moderately ill. The Health Ministry has reported a positivity rate of 6.5%. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.